Hey everybody, Tim here from the Tactical Defender. And Ryan, I know a lot of you know Ryan. Him and I are out again today, out in the woods, playing around, trying out some knives, playing with some gear. And one knife we've actually had, or he's had, it's actually Ryan's knife. I've used it many times, is the Ontario SP10, also known as the Marine Raider Bowie, or Bowie, depending on where you're from. And we, for a very long time, well, basically it still is, this is more or less our chopper when we go out into the woods and do what we do. You can tell here, a lot of batoning. I've said it before in my videos, we don't do a lot of batoning. We don't have to baton a lot. We find wood that's basically usable or burnable. But it's not something we do often, but you should absolutely know how to baton. You never know. You just have to know, you know. A lot of people say you're abusing your knives. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But it's something you should learn. And by the look of this knife, the SP10, we definitely have batoned. Like I said, this is Ryan's. He's had it for several years. What? 4 years. I've used it a ton of times, and we're out today doing what we do, and I thought I'd give a quick review. For most of you that know, it is made in USA. It is the Spec Plus Raider Bowie SP10 from Ontario Knives. And the blade is 1095 hard carbon steel. It is it does have the swedge. It is a Bowie or Bowie blade. Unsharpened swedge. It's not intentionally sharpened, but it does have an edge on there. I mean, if I was to hit you with it, it will cut you. And very thick steel, as you can tell. I really enjoy, I like the rubber Kraton handle. It's a full fixed, full-tang all the way through. Little eyelet there for a rope, paracord you put your hand through. When you swing it, you're not going to lose it and take out a buddy. But I really like this handle. You do feel some vibration when you're chopping with it, but I felt worse, and I have felt better. But it's nice. I mean, the purpose of it's sticky. It's not going away. Even without gloves, it's very nice. It's not going to slide out of your hand. For my big, fat, meaty hands, it really is the perfect handle. The width, the size, and it's just a great blade. Now, as you can tell, I mean, the majority of the weight is going to be up here and not as much down this end, which makes this great for chopping. You know, when on the forward swing or side swing, all the weight's up here at the end, you get a better chopping. Also, the shape of the blade, the belly here, that helps out a lot. Me personally, I don't like these shapes for blades. I don't like the Bowie style, be it a folding knife, a fixed blade, even a chopper. This is serving a purpose. I know Ryan really kind of likes it, but it serves a purpose, and that's the most important thing. But me personally, I like a drop point blade, not necessarily this point. One of the things, or two things that come to mind with it, not only do I not like that shape, but one of the things is this kind of blade, you lose some strength in the tip. This really isn't a knife that you're going to jam in and then go back and forth with anyway. I'm not saying that it won't handle it. I don't think the tip can handle it. Ontario may say differently, and your experiences may vary, but I don't think the tip is going to really be able to handle any a lot of abuse. I can tell you that this back here, the unsharpened swedge, not really good for batoning. Whatever you're using for batoning, you're really destroying your stick, you know. Before you know it, you got to toss it and go grab or make another one. This will destroy that. We have batoned with this. Look at the markings, the scrapings, many times. We have hit this many times. Other than destroying what we're using for a hammer or, you know, log or stick, the tip is still there. It's never broken off. No dents or anything. I mean, it's very strong. Would I jam it in something and then go back and forth with it? Probably not. straight down with a log or something, will it handle that? Absolutely, it has. It has many times, and it's a nice knife. It really is. I have intentions on buying the SP50 or 51, one of those two, or maybe a couple of the others. I like the pry bar with the blade. That's a pretty sharp one. I forget the number on that, but they are great knives, amazing knives. We've been chopping with it, playing around here in the woods, and it's a good knife. I'm happy Ryan has it. It's not a blade I would want, only because of the shape of the blade. But I like it. I've been playing a lot with it. It's a lot of fun, all right? Now, the sheath. A lot of people tell me that I judge knives a lot by the knife, but I judge them by the sheath. A lot of people say you're not buying a sheath, you're buying a knife. To me, it's kind of not 50-50, more like 75 or 70-30. I like Kydex sheaths. I'm not crazy about nylon sheaths, nor am I crazy about leather sheaths. I'd rather a nylon before a leather, but I would prefer Kydex. Could you make a Kydex sheath for this? Probably could. I haven't looked around. I haven't seen any. This sheath here, and pretty much all their sheaths for Ontario, are nylon or nylon and leather. Half is leather, and the other half is like a nylon Cordura material. Why is that? I don't know. If you do, please leave a comment in the lower section there. But it does have, it's a good sheath. It's got a couple buttons. That's another thing. I don't like sheaths with Velcro or buttons, because if you're out here, you're in the snow like we are, you get snow in there, you're not going to be able to secure your knife. But I mean, the sheath works. Yeah, if I put it in correctly, it does. The sheath works. It holds the knife. It is primarily designed to wear on a belt. It's got a loop down here to put some paracord. You can wrap that around your thigh loosely. I highly recommend. And to hold it so it's not swinging in the breeze, but it's made to put on your belt. I personally, and I don't recall Ryan ever wearing it on his belt, but I personally prefer my large blades, my chopping blades, on my pack. I like some form of MOLLE capability. I want to put it on my pack. Can I rig something to put this on my pack? Absolutely. Of course I can. But I'd rather not have to rig anything. I want it made for that. It is, all things considered, a nice sheath. I mean, there's some thought put into it. It is a very strong sheath. I know, again, we've been out, it's been thrown around on the ground here. The stuff we go through is pretty thick stuff. We're not the kind of guys that usually stay on trail, am I right? We have a habit of going where we probably shouldn't be going. And I know he hangs this on his pack. I don't exactly know how he does that, but he does, and it's in great shape. And you can tell it's used, but it really is in good shape. Now, we have been doing some chopping here, and I just want to demonstrate. I mean, there is an edge on here. We've been doing a lot of chopping. I don't recall he's saying anything about putting edge any time recently. He does protect it. What do you protect it with?
WD-40.
WD-40, all right, which also helps in chopping as well as taking care of the blade. Make sure it doesn't rust. And there's no rust on this at all. None of the edges at all. It is sharp. Oops. It does have a good edge on there. And you can tell looking at it. We've used it. It's been through quite a bit. Ryan, like myself, you've probably seen in my other videos, he's not a great knife sharpener, as myself. We can get a workable edge, I like to call it. It's going to do whatever I need it to do, and probably then some. Is it going to be pretty? No, probably not. Looking at this, it's not pretty. If you're really, really into knife sharpening, I mean, you really get into it, you got all the stuff, and you put the paste on, you're going to look at his and my knives, and you're going to be, what have you done? But you know what? They work. Our knives aren't pretty. They're made to be used, you know, to chop shit and cut stuff and stab people. I mean, stab things. And, yeah, so I'm going to do some chopping just to kind of demonstrate it a little bit. And please don't judge me. But we'll see, all right? Let's lower this down a little bit. Now I don't have the string on here, so I'm kind of trying to be a little bit easy. I'm not giving it all I got. And the other thing, all right, that this is a really nice thick branch. The other thing is that this is really too high for chopping. I'm sure you noticed that. It should be lower so you get more power. But look at that. That oh, that's good for burning too. That's a hell of a chopper. That really is. And I mean, you can really do, you're gonna process some wood, you need some shavings. You know, you got it all with this knife. You need a little spot for your bear. There you go. So, it's a great knife. It's very thick. So if you're going to do something like this, you're going to build something with the logs, you need to grab it. You really can. Even this, maybe not bare hand, but with gloves. But it's a great, great knife. I'm not going to chop this all the way because this is actually my bench. I'm going to raise this up. So it's a great knife. I'm out of shape. And I don't want to destroy this log because we kind of have plans for it. But what I'm going to do is bring in Ryan. I'm going to ask him a few questions. Like I said, I have a lot of experience with this, but it is his knife. And I want to hear his idea, why he bought it, what he likes, what he doesn't like, so you can get his opinion as well, okay? We'll gonna take a break. We'll be right back, everybody. 1 second. Everybody, in case you haven't met Ryan, this is Ryan, good friend of mine. We do a lot of shooting together, a lot of hiking together, and that's it. But as I said before, this is his knife. And he did buy, we were just talking about it, and I remember he bought it for me back when I had my business. And somebody returned it for some reason. Well, it wasn't what they wanted. They returned it, and I was thinking about, and then he saw it. He saw it. He's like, dude, I got to have that. So, Ryan, it is your knife. Tell me a couple things why you like it. What do you really like about it?
I like the swedge on the back. Like me and Tim were discussing, a lot of times I can break stuff off, branches with it, and I can save my edge on it. Okay, I like the weight on it. I like the feel of it. It seems to hold an edge really good, yeah. And like Tim said, I'm not a very good knife sharpener, and I can put a pretty good edge on it, as you saw.
And it holds the edge.
It does. That's that 1095 carbon, high carbon.
All right. And about the sheath, which I dropped. What about the sheath? What don't you like about the sheath? What's your thoughts? Sorry, everybody, I did drop this earlier. What's your thoughts on the sheath?
Well, I'm not crazy about the leather on it. Like, you know, Tim just dropped it in the snow, so now it's wet. So thanks, buddy. But I'm not crazy about it. All around, you know, for the knife, when I bought this from Tim at the time, I think it was $40. So I mean, you get what you pay for. I think it's okay. It serves its purpose. You know?
Sheath.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, about the knife, what are your problems with? What don't you like about the knife? There's got to be something. There's always something people don't like about a product. I like to point out to my subscribers the good, the bad, the ugly. Focus more emphasis on the good, obviously, but nothing's perfect. Everything has a downside. I know you really like this. You have it every time we're out. Even when we go to the range, folks, he has this with him. Anyway, what about this don't you like? What do you have a problem with?
The lanyard hole could be bigger. It is tough to get some paracord through there. I do like the fact that it is brass.
So you like a big hole?
Yes.
All right.
And the Kraton handle, it could be a little bit better when you are chopping with it and it's cold out. You do feel some vibration with it. But on the same token, you don't get any slip with it.
Yeah.
It is pretty grippy, so it's pretty nice.
I've actually seen people take like black friction tape or hockey tape and wrap that around there. Do you think it needs that?
I don't think it needs it.
I know.
I've seen some people do that with micarta handles.
Oh,
I
know.
I don't know why. You know, micarta, when it gets wet, it gets even better to me. You know.
Then they go putting tape on there. I don't get it. But
I don't get it.
You like the blade, the Bowie shaped blade?
Yeah, it makes me feel like a pirate.
Okay. Overall, 1 to 5, 5 being the best. You can't improve anything. What would you say this, with the sheath, what would you say this is?
Probably about a 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
Okay. What would make it a 4?
The blade shape could be a little bit better, and the Kraton handle could be a little bit better.
Okay. All right. All right, everybody, you heard it. It is his. We both have a lot of experience with it. In the end, it's a great, great knife. All interior knives are good knives. We both really like the Kraton. I like the Kraton handle. I've used other knives as choppers. You feel the impact. You feel it, but it's not like others. So to me, it's really not that bad. But it's a great, great knife. All the SP, all of them are good. All the Ontario knives, SP series, are great, great knives. Great chopper, as you saw here. And that's really it. Just if you haven't tried one, go get them. I'm actually thinking about getting the SP50 or 51. I haven't made up my mind. And then we'll have 2 really great choppers. And so that's it, everybody. I appreciate you watching, as always. And please like. If you're not a subscriber, I appreciate if you subscribe. Leave a comment. As always, I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions. And that's it for today, everybody. All right? Thank you, and goodbye.
Stay safe.